The role of a Chief Digital Officer is evolving, but primarily the role of a Chief Digital Officer is to be a leader with very strong business acumen, a digital mindset, and digital and technology capabilities to help organizations transform themselves. The role of a digital officer also is to help bring people, process, and technology together, along with the digital mindset, to transform the core parts of an organization. But primarily, the role of a digital officer is to sit on the side of the business and help the business pull technology, rather than to sit on the side of technology and push technology to the business. So, why do organizations that are digitally transforming themselves need a Chief Digital Officer? Like any high-performance team, the role of a Chief Digital Officer is to be the coach, the guide, the mentor to help organizations transform themselves digitally. But it's also important that the CDO, or the Chief Digital Officer, embraces a bifocal approach to change. While some change can take longer, it's really important to start delivering the quick wins, and that's where the Chief Digital Officer comes in. But it's not just that, it's actually a fairly complex role, because it's not the role that implements technology, it's the role that's aware of the organizational context, the political context, the governance aspects, the risk considerations, and ultimately brings all that together to effectively deliver a digital transformation for the business. So, not an easy job, but one that needs to be done, and I would highly advocate organizations that are about to embark on digital transformation journeys to bring a capable, motivated, committed, and someone that's a can-do Chief Digital Officer in your organizations. So how has the Chief Digital Officer role evolved, especially in light of the pandemic? The true answer is I'm still working it out. But a lot has changed since the pandemic. For most organizations, being digital is no longer a nice to have, it's a must have. It's table stakes. In fact, you can say being digital is important to staying relevant in an organization. So the role of a Chief Digital Officer then has changed from being someone that's introducing new technologies and being a digital evangelist to being the transformer in chief of the organization, sitting right at the center of the organization, understanding the market context, understanding the business context, understanding the people context, the technology context, risk, governance, you name it, and bringing all that together to effectively help an organization digitally transform. Let me give you some examples. There may be parts of your value chain that are very people intensive, and in this constrained economy where hiring people is getting harder, especially people with technology skills, leveraging automation in aspects of that. So in finance and operations, they are ripe for automation. So how can the Chief Digital Officer identify opportunities in that area? Secondly, delivering real-time insights to customers and the market. Let's take the example of ESG. Historically, we would have taken more static reports to clients, but leveraging the new power of data analytics and platforms, providing real-time insights to clients and to customers of the changing dynamic of ESG. So these are all areas where we're seeing digital transformation play an immediate role. But we should also not forget the people side of digital transformation. So we're hiring a lot of people with dual skills, their functional skills and technology skills. And I think the Chief Digital Officer is well positioned to tap into the digital component of everyone's capabilities and actually tap that into the organization's psyche and drive benefits from that as well. So it's an all-encompassing role that includes understanding the customer context, and I would say the CDO needs to be customer obsessed, but they also need to bring in the business context, the commercial context, the political people context to help drive digital transformation for the business. No mean feat, but that's what keeps it fun. To answer that, it's probably important to understand the context of the organization that we are. We are PwC, one of the largest and most successful professional services firms in the world. And we are out there talking to clients and customers every day about their challenges and the opportunities for their businesses. And one consistent area that comes up, especially in the last 3 years, is digital transformation. And we realized very early in the piece that in order for us to give authentic advice to clients about this topic, we need to do it ourselves, which is where my role came in. And I was brought into the firm to act with a very simple mandate: do to ourselves what we ask our clients to do. And that's how we started 4 years ago. And it wasn't just done in Australia or in Asia. We actually ran it as a global program. So we did 3 things. We started upskilling everyone in the organization on data, on visualization, on automation, storytelling, and analytics. And that is a program we call Digital Academies. And more than 80% of our workforce globally have gone through the academies. We then started working with our leadership, our partners, and we gave them a digital fitness program where they had to go and improve their digital fitness. And they all participated. We had 95% participation rate in that program, one of the highest that we've ever seen. We then started looking at parts of our processes that can be automated. And we have an automation factory called the Digital Lab that we've leveraged to drive all these automation across the firm. We've created new revenue models through asset-backed services, which is essentially our traditional services combined with technology assets that allow us to deliver a differentiated experience for our clients. That has then created new revenue opportunities in the market and new market differentiation opportunities for us. Underpinned by all of this is our people experience and our client experience. And we're very happy to see the dial moving. So last year, the ratings we had both internally and externally on people engagement were some of the highest. And this is after the fact that we've come off a pandemic. So the fact that we've kept our people firmly center of our digital transformation has really shown in those results. Looking ahead, it's also working with our regional stakeholders. So we've got fantastic territories in the Asia Pacific region, each driving their own digital transformation. So my role is to help bring those territories together and take the best of them and get value in the market, and both for our firms and for our people. So an example of that is, again, this asset-backed services model. So each of our territories are building some fantastic technologies to take to market. If I use ESG as an example, we've got a great tool that we've got right now that we're rolling out in the market. So how do we get behind that and get scale and get effectiveness on something like that is a tangible area we're working on. There's more to be done, but I guess for us, the future is in our asset-backed services model, in getting digital transformation out in the market, working with our alliance partners as well, which is pretty important, and focusing on the things we can do better, taking the best of our humans along with the best of our technology, and using a human-led, tech-powered approach to drive this change in the market. Well, there's maybe 3 key points on how to make the CDO role a success in your organization. First, digital should be integrated into everything you do as a business, whether it's your supply chain, whether it's your finance, whether it's commercial, marketing, sales, customer service. Bring all that together and put digital at the center of how you service your customers, how you make your people engaged, and also how you go to market. So that's number 1. It has to be integral. The second, in order to do that, is that CDO needs to be given the permission and the sponsorship to be bold and innovative and make the occasional mistakes as they go about it. And so sponsorship to allow the CDO to be bold and innovative is absolutely critical. The third then is to allow the CDO to make quick decisions. Agility and speed is going to be absolutely critical. So it has to be integral to everything you do. The sponsorship and the support for the CDO to be bold and innovative and do it at speed. I would say the speed that the CDO needs to operate should be at the customer speed, not at the organizational speed. And sometimes those two are incongruous. The customer speed is a lot quicker expectations, and the organization's capability to respond can be a bit slow. We've seen through the pandemic, organizations that have responded really quickly are at the forefront and enjoying the success. Those that haven't are still working their way through that. A measure of success, if all this happens, is you might find 5 years from now, you don't need the Chief Digital Officer role, because digital is permeated in everything you do. It's integral to your business, and you're known in the market and internally as a digital leader. Maybe you can then reface their role to do something else in the organization. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure this is going to be a successful journey for you all.